Every time I start a video where I'm gonna paint flowers, I start by saying, I don't recommend painting flowers. And it's kind of true. Normally, I don't think flowers are a great thing to start with if you're new to watercolor, and even if you're experienced. Like, I don't find flowers to be very easy for me. That said, we're gonna paint flowers. There's a window right across from me, and there are turkey buzzards. There must be something like in the road, because there are 2 turkey buzzards in my front yard, and I fear it could be a sign. I don't know. Maybe I should just end the video here. You have to see. I need to refocus. Okay, so why do I want to paint flowers when I don't like painting flowers? I gotta get it together. I should be painting turkey buzzards. It would make a lot more sense. Okay, I have this book called The Joy of Watercolor by Emma Block, and I really love Emma Block. I think I shared her sketchbook book, which I've just been really into, and I have this book, so I was flipping through it, and there's this picture in here of this bouquet, and this is actually like a collage activity from this book, where you paint the papers and then you cut them out and you make it. But I wanted to just paint a little flower bouquet in watercolor and use colored pencils. I've been really into colored pencils. Let me show you. These are Posca colored pencils that I have just taken out and put into a travel thing because I like to have them all like laid out. I sharpened them all. I mean, that is satisfying. They're so sharp. Very exciting. Anyway, my idea was to take this as my inspiration, the little bouquet of flowers, and instead of doing a collage, to do just a little painted bouquet. Very simple. We're gonna do like blobs of color, and then we're gonna do details with the colored pencils. And that's why it's okay. That's why it's okay to paint flowers, because we're just gonna paint blobs. This was really off the rails. Okay, so this is what you need. Colored pencils, obviously. A regular pencil to sketch it out. Paints. I'm gonna do this in the practice book, but any book with watercolor paper or just plain watercolor paper will be fine. And I have my round brushes. So I have a 10, an 8, and a 6. I'm not sure exactly which ones I'm gonna use, but I have them all here and ready to go. My dog is barking at the birds. There are 3 of them now. And all the kids are walking home from school and they're screaming at the birds. It is chaos. I don't know if I'm gonna include this. I think I've composed myself. I don't know. That remains to be seen, I suppose. So I'm gonna draw a triangle, basically, but I'm not gonna connect the top part just yet. And I'm just gonna bring one of the lines down to meet the other line, like perpendicular, and then connect up here at the top. This is the paper for the bouquet. And actually, you know what? We can make this a little bit fancier even. What if we narrow it in here, and then we bring it like this down at the bottom? Okay, let me show you what my idea is. I've just narrowed it in and then brought it down here and sort of cinched it in so that we can do like a bow. What do you think? We're just getting the ideas here, but we've got our little bouquet started. And then for the flowers, I really just want to like, I just want to put in blobs, like where are my blobs gonna go? I'm gonna have five like main flowers. That's what I'm thinking. And then I'll put in some filler flowers. So does this seem like a good, that seems like a good spot, right? Yeah, okay. And then we'll do like some little filler flowers. Like here's like a little group of 3, maybe. Maybe we'll do like 2 sort of sticking out here. Maybe we'll do 1, 2, 3 over here. And then I feel like I like bouquets that have like those sort of like long, pointy, they're almost shaped like a triangle. Do you know what I'm talking about? Put a couple of those in there. So it's basically, I just made like a wiggly triangle shape. I feel like I want one on this side too. Maybe I'll change these. Let's make this, we're gonna make this another one of those like triangular shaped flowers. And then we could put like one of the little filler flowers in here. Okay, so then they're gonna have stems that come down like this. And there will be leaves sticking out, right? So it looks fairly balanced without being like totally symmetrical. That's what I'm going for. I don't want total symmetry. I do want it to look balanced though. And I think this will work. So now I'm just gonna erase my lines a little bit, which Lacey and I were just talking about this recently. Lacey is also a watercolor artist, about whether or not we dislike pencil lines showing through our watercolor, and we both agreed we don't really care. Neither one of us really cares, but a lot of people do care. So we're gonna go ahead and erase them. And then I'm gonna get my size 8 brush. The first thing I'm gonna do is plan out my color scheme because I wanna make sure that it all goes. So I think I want pink flowers. I'm not sure if I want them to be that pink. I'm gonna try some cherry red in with my fuchsia. I'm actually gonna swatch these. I'm gonna swatch these on the page opposite my bouquet. I kind of like being able to see the process of the whole thing. So instead of, this is just the practice book. Instead of this page being totally blank, I'll have a little record of sort of what I tried. So there's the pink color. And I know that I want some yellow. I feel like that's gonna be too yellow, too bright. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this mid yellow. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see what we think of this. I don't know. I think that's still a little bright. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow ochre in there. And let's see. Okay, I think that's a little bit better for what I'm going for. I think for the ones that are like sort of triangular shaped, I think I want those to be kind of blue, like lupines. I never know how to say that. That is the wrong blue. I don't even need to swatch it. That's not the, this is giving like a tropical vibe with those other colors, and that is not what I'm going for. So I'm gonna try ultramarine. That is better. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of my, cherry red in there. Now we've gone very purple. Let's do more, more ultramarine. That's pretty. I think I wanted a little bit bluer than that. Let's see. Okay, I like that. And then for the green of the leaves, let's try olive. All right, let's see how olive looks with it. That's pretty too. I kind of want to mix, let's try a little bit of the ultramarine in with the olive. Well, now I've run out of space. That's okay. I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, I like that even better. All right, so we mixed a little bit of ultramarine into the olive to get this green, which goes with these two because this one was made of ultramarine and a little bit of the cherry red. So that's how we're getting this sort of cohesive palette. And then we also need brown for our bag. A little bit of this burnt umber, and maybe we'll put in some yellow ochre too. Let's see if we're getting that paper brown color. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I think this is my palette. This is the palette that we're going for. So I'm just gonna keep my paint really, really light on this because we are gonna use colored pencils on top. So I'm just gonna go in with my brown, following my lines. And you can kind of keep the two sections separate. I'm not gonna worry about the bow because we'll just do the bow on top with the colored pencils. And if it doesn't line up with our lines exactly right, that's fine too. That is totally fine. So we just filled that in. And then I'm gonna let this dry before I add this part of the bag in because I do want there to be a distinction between the two. So we're gonna let this part dry while we paint in some of the flowers. And for the flowers, we are not painting flowers, we're just painting blobs, okay? So I'm going back to my pink and I'm just gonna paint in a blob just like that. And this one is gonna be another blob, okay? So you can make them uneven on the ends and that will give you sort of the idea of petals once we put in the colored pencil. But it really can be extremely simple. Maybe this one's like a side view flower. And maybe that one too, a little bit. But that's it. That's the pink flowers. For the yellow flowers, I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush and I'm just gonna just dot in that yellow. And these aren't trying to look any kind of way either. Like not any specific shape, I guess. Do I want to add another one over here? I guess I should do the blue first. I'm gonna go ahead and do the blue ones that are kind of like triangle-y shapes. we lived in Texas for a while, and there are blue bonnets there, and I guess that's kind of what I'm envisioning, is like a blue bonnet-y shape. It's almost like a tree. Like when we paint trees, it's almost like that. And let's do one right here. Update on the turkey vultures. They got their prize and they have left. So that adventure is over. Unfortunate, fortunate, I don't know. But they have gone. They have left. These look good. I am gonna put in stems. I think I want to let this dry first before I do the stems so that it doesn't all run together. So let's let this dry and then we'll come back. Now that it's dry, we can go ahead and fill in this other side of the bag or the paper. I don't know. Do we know what it is? I guess it would be paper, probably. So using that same paint that I mixed up before, I'm just adding some color in there. All right, and then we need to do our leaves. So this is still my size 6 brush, and I'm just gonna put in like just some very basic leaves. You can add some little stems. We can add some stems here. Now remember, this is wet, so you want to stay away from this part. You do not want to touch that part until it is dry. But we can add the stems in on these other ones. I guess we'll put that one right there. And we'll put this guy in. He's gonna come down like that. And this one will come down like that. We came very close. I almost got in the brown, but you know what? Even if we did, it would be okay. Let's do these guys too. And that guy. And that one. Let's do a leaf like right here. And here. Now here's my thing. I will go crazy with the leaves. Too many leaves. I'll have to try to contain myself on the leaves. Let's maybe make one come like kind of like down like that, and maybe another one up here. Make that one a little bit bigger. I feel like I want more leaves. Maybe we'll do one right there. I think I want to put some in here too. Maybe that's what's missing. We'll just put some more green in down here in the bottom to fill it in a little bit. Okay, it's looking very cute. I also think we can always add more with our colored pencils if we want to. So I'm gonna try to show some restraint and not go bananas. Let's let this dry and then we'll do the colored pencil. Let us first appreciate the pointiness of the colored pencils. I think I'm gonna just start with pink on the flowers, and I have this kind of like purpley pink. Let's see how I mean, it's not gonna match, but I don't think I want it to match, right? Does it go? That's the question. It doesn't have to match, but it has to go. I think this will work. So basically what I'm going to do is I am going to imagine that like this one probably has a petal that this one's kind of like in the front, right? Because it's a side view. So we've got our petals there. These are the front petals, and then those are the back petals. And it doesn't look great, doesn't matter. We're gonna add more to it. So maybe this one is more like we're looking down into it. So we're gonna see the center of this flower, and then this one, maybe we'll make this one more like we did this one. Oh, I don't know. We've got these. Oof. Oof, guys. This one's that one's looking a little rough. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. This is why I don't do flowers. Just kidding. Okay, so we're just putting our petals in. Petals. Maybe this one is gonna be like that too. This is gonna make more sense when we put the centers in. I assure you, we can fix it. Okay. All right. So there's those guys. For the yellow ones, that looks pretty much just like our yellow. I feel like I want something that's gonna look a little bit different. So I'm gonna try, this one's like I guess Posca doesn't do, that is almost brown. I don't think that's right. This one's more like a marigold color, I guess, if you want to call it that. So then for these guys, I'm just going to make these like that. I need a stem. I'm going to need a stem on that one. So these are just little pointy, uppy petals. You guys are never going to come back. You're never going to come back for another tutorial. I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true. Okay, so there's our yellows. Let's do blue. This one is basically the color that we just did. Let's try that one. Yeah. Sure, it's gonna add some variety. So for these, I'm just gonna do like, kind of like we did on the yellow ones, where I'm just doing petals all over it. These are not precise. These are not precise. These are just, we're just making marks, basically. Think of it that way. Think of it as mark making and not as drawing flowers. And that will free you up and make it less scary. So I'm just kind of trying to keep that triangular shape. And if you go off your paint a little bit, that's okay. That makes it even more interesting. I kind of like it. Let's do some of our yellow. Will we even be able to see this? We do yellow in the centers of our flowers. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. I think let's try some orange. Whoops! I just broke that. All right, the orange looks nice on there. Let's outline our leaves. Is that the color I want? That looks very much like what we used. That one's pretty dark. That's a maybe. That's a maybe for me. That is blue. That is not even green. I think I'm gonna go with the one that matches first. And we're gonna just see how we feel about it. Because we can always go darker if we want to. So I'm just outlining my leaves, and I'm putting a little line in the center. Give that guy a stem. I'm gonna outline some of these stems too. Is it outlining? I don't know. I guess it's more like just following. Can you guys hear the train? We get so many trains here, and I actually really love it. At first I wasn't sure how I liked it. Like, I wasn't sure if I would get used to it. But now that we've been here a while, I actually really love it. There's something about the sounds, in-town sounds, that I like. We got to put some lines in these guys too, because we did it on the other side. I feel like I'm gonna fill a little bit of this, more of that in with the green. Oh, we gotta outline the bag. The bag too. And we gotta do what is our ribbon gonna look like? What color should we do for the ribbon? I think I'm just gonna shade this in just a little bit on this side, down towards the bottom. Maybe a little bit on this side too, just along the seam. I feel like I want more on these pink flowers. I want something. Let's try purple. Just a little bit of purple in there. What do we think of that? I will just go for it with a colored pencil. I have no fear with colored pencils. I don't know why. I don't know if in my mind I'm like, oh, it's not permanent. It is permanent. You can't erase a colored pencil. But for some reason, they don't scare me. Not afraid. Not afraid. Okay, I really want the center of the flower to be darker, I think. That's that blue. I'm just gonna outline the center a little bit. It's almost just putting a bit of a shadow on there. Do I want to fill it in with that blue, or just want to leave it yellow? Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I didn't say that you needed this, but now I think I've changed my mind. I'm gonna do some white gel pen dots in the center of the flowers. That's cute. Okay, so we've got to do our bow. What color are we gonna make the bow? I think I'm gonna do the bow in the blue that we did on these flowers. And I'm gonna make it more like a string, I guess, than a bow, because I got a little wonky on there. That's cute. I like it. Okay, last thing. I think I want to just do just a little background, and we didn't tape it off at all, and that's fine. I think we can just let the edges just sort of be what they're gonna be. But let's do our yellow, the yellow that we mixed up for the flowers. And we're gonna keep it super light, and we're not gonna go like crazy close to the bouquet. We're just gonna go kind of around it. And hopefully I don't run out of my color, but if I do, you know what? I'll just mix up some more. That's it. I think we're done. If you guys stuck with me through the chaos of this video, you're a real one. I appreciate you. Thank you. I think this is very cute. It really didn't take that long to make it, and I think it's a good example of how you can take inspiration from something in a book like this that was collage, was not watercolor, and sort of make it your own, turn it into your own thing. And I get so much inspiration from other artists. I can't even tell you how lucky we are to live in a time where the internet brings art into our homes every day. And I really do thank you for letting me and my chaotic energy join yours. Bye.